You alright?
No, I'm not. I'm fucking raving.
Welcome back to part 2. Let's get straight into it with what makes Rings of Power so shit. Let's start with Galadriel on her journey to Valinor. That journey from Lindon to Valinor is apparently hundreds and hundreds of miles, and we see her and her team fully dressed in their armour, swords in front of them, standing perfectly still.
Not a great plan.
And just before the giant vagina of Valinor takes her, she listens to her brother's words, and she thinks, this is not for me, I need to stay here. She dives into the sea and decides to swim back. When it initially happens, you think, oh, okay, so she's must have pre-planned this at some point. She's got an aide, someone close to her, and they're following up on a boat to pick her up. But no, she thoroughly believed at the time this was the best way to swim hundreds and hundreds of fucking miles, you dick.
Not a great plan.
Dear, oh fucking dear, what do we have here? Because honestly, I wasn't fucking sure myself. These hobbits, oh, they were a mix of bad Cornish and even worse Irish. As you can see, I'm trying to do my worst Irish impression myself.
Fair up. Yes, Tom. I've killed a man. Listen, Tom, I'll have to talk to you about that later. I'm doing an interview for the television.
Nobody could hold their accents in those hobbits. Fucking Lenny Henry was an Irishman one minute and a Cornishman the next. The Australian actresses were Australian and Irish, or some fucking Lucky Charms Irish.
Yeah, they're always after me, Lucky Charms.
It was fucking cringe. The elves seemed to be alright. I mean, they had pretty bland accents and nothing really stood out for me as a shocker from what I remember. The Land of Men, they seemed to be lads from up north, either like Manchester or Yorkshire. Couldn't quite tell, it was a bit of a mix really, except for Bronwyn. And then the old Ginger Army under the mountain, they had their fine Scottish accents.
Hey, fuck off!
Being an Englishman and hearing this fucking mess of accents, it jarred a lot while watching this. For people watching it in another country, you might not notice it too much, but for me, it was just fucking horrendous. It like reminded me of a night out in Covent Garden when I was at a noisy walkabout pub. This is supposed to be a fantasy. I'm not supposed to be watching it thinking, is this Rings of Power or is this fucking Emmerdale?
Norris? Put that back.
Galadriel takes down a snow troll. In Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship had to work as a team to take down the cave troll. They all played their part to allow Legolas to take the final shot, or the fatal shot, with his arrow. In Rings of Power, Galadriel just runs up her fucking BFF's sword, he flicks her in the air and she goes all Matrix-like, does a few stabby motions and kills it. And it was, a bit of a hollow kill because, firstly it wasn't believable, and secondly, Morphy Clark isn't believable as a warrior. The dialogue on a whole is pretty bad.
There is a tempest in me.
Do you know why a ship floats and a stone cannot? Because the stone sees only downward, but the ship has a secret. For unlike the stone, her gaze is not downward but up.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
But it tries to make you feel stupid by trying to be profound, but in reality just being fucking retarded.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
So with that, I thought we'd do a quick comparison of J.R.R. Tolkien and Patrick McKay and J.D. Payne. Let's get into it. J.R.R. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien was an English professor, writer and poet. At the age of 4, he started to read and soon after started to write. In his teens, he started to write his own language while studying Latin and Anglo-Saxon. He called the first one Nevbosh and then afterwards his second constructed language Nefarin. I think that's how you say it. Not quite sure. He was in the First World War as a lieutenant in the Lancashire Fusiliers and he participated in assaults on the Schwaben Redoubt and the Leipzig Salient. During his downtime, he would write poetry. After leaving the army, he became an English literature professor at Leeds, producing a Middle English vocabulary and a definitive edition of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. He translated Sir Gawain, Pearl and Sir Orfeo, and then returned to Oxford as a professor of Anglo-Saxon. He also undertook the translation of Beowulf, which took him 6 years. He was also earmarked as a codebreaker for the Second World War, but his services were never needed. Oh yeah, and he wrote The Hobbit and The Lord of the fucking Rings, that sold over 150 million copies worldwide.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
2 writers uncredited for writing Star Trek Beyond, but if you actually look into it, their script was scrapped and Simon Pegg and Doug Jung rewrote it. Can't really find much more about these chaps other than Payne went to Yale to study engineering, and McKay went to a creative writing grad school in Washington. And there you have it. Make your own mind up on whether these boys can do better than Tolkien.
Hey! Fuck off!
So these guys are a nomadic tribe, not very big, so realistically you need everyone to stay together, especially people with skills. And they even sing about how everyone stays together, no one gets left behind.
Goes up here. And nobody walks alone. Nobody goes up here. Come on. And nobody walks alone.
Yet these fucking little gremlins leave the Brandyfoots behind. Absolute little fucktards. And there was another thing. I know Amazon wants to be really diverse, but fuck me.
Whoop. Here I come. Oh, here I come.
The fucking Chinaman in the Harfords camp. Where the fuck did they pick him up from? I mean, you can probably go to explain how you've got white and black Harfords, but a Chinese one? Where the fuck did you get him from? But, you know, he looks so happy. Look at that big old smiley face. Do you need to watch this? Are you missing out? No, you are not. If you're a Tolkien fan, you will fucking hate it. If you're a person who values your free time, you'll hate it. Take away the bastardization of Tolkien and the fact that women are great, men are stupid, you are left with an empty vessel devoid of any storytelling. Honestly, Amazon, you know, they've tried to shield the show by saying people are racist. But if you actually listen to what a lot of people have said when they've watched it, is that Disa is actually very good in what she does. People like her. What people don't like, apart from the truly shocking fucking writing, is Galadriel, her character. She is just fucking horrible. It's as though the writers wanted to make her a Mary Sue, but because they're so shit at their jobs, they've actually made her a bit of a Karen. Like, she's just a miserable bitch. She fucking demands stuff, and she seems to fuck up quite a lot.
Oh my god, that's like so unfair!
We are now 6 episodes in of Rings of Power. I've only seen up to 3. I kind of tapped out a bit. It was pretty poor. Seeing other people's reviews, it's only getting worse. Amazon have a big flop and it is not going away. This could be a make or break for their streaming service in terms of what they produce. As you can probably tell, I would advise not to watch it on the basis of you will not be entertained. However, if you want to watch something that will go down as the biggest streaming failure in history, then yeah, watch it just for that, because it's bad, real bad.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
It does beg the question, why the fuck would Amazon risk their 1 billion series on 2 hack writers, actors and actresses who aren't great? That is a lot of money to put on a bunch of nobodies.
Not a great plan.
Why would you do that? Something to think about anyway. My suggestion, buy Maverick on Prime instead and watch that. That film will tickle your tits till Friday. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Please hit the like button, it all counts. Cheers.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.